Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have a return favorite. You know him. He is an expert on the biggest case ever. When I need to know anything about Blake versus Justin, I go to Zack Peter with No Filter with Zack Peter. Great podcast. Good friend. Welcome back to Juicy Scoop.
Thank you for having me back.
We're going to get into so much today, but I have to tell you about this breaking juicy crime. Oh, did you know that I do Juicy Crimes every Wednesday? Please subscribe. There's a link right below. Leave a 5-star review. Spread the word. We're doing it. Drops every Wednesday. This is just happening, and I saw it yesterday, and there's more news about it. There is a rapper named David, but it's spelled D, the numeral 4, VID. I don't know his music. He's currently on tour, and they found a decomposing body of a person that they now identified as a 15-year-old girl. They have her name. She was 71 pounds. Now, I don't know if she was 71 pounds, decomposing body in a Tesla that is registered to him.
Okay.
And it was like, you know, it was at a spot for so long that it was getting towed. And then the tow company was like, this smells really bad. And so they, called the cops. They found the body in the trunk, I guess. And now they say 71 pounds. I don't know if that means it was 71 pounds because it's decomposing, or was she really a 15-year-old that was actually 71 pounds? So I first heard about this yesterday, and I'm like, we have Teslas and they have cameras in them. So I'm like, you'll be able to see at least the jeans or the pants of somebody that's putting this body in the trunk on this day, whatever. And then I was like, well, if I was this guy's defense attorney, I'd be like, oh, being a rapper, I have, my boys and my entourage and my cousin. And like a lot of people have access to my cars. Okay. That's what I thought it would be. TMZ just reported that he has a tattoo on his inner finger that's shush, SHHH. And so did the 15-year-old girl. Matching tattoo of shush inside her finger. Why does a grown man have a matching tattoo with a woman who's a child who's 15?
Yeah.
What are you shushing about? And your body was found in a car that was registered to him. So when this hit, as I'm driving over here, they're like, but David is cooperating with the police while he's on tour. Why he's on tour? I'm like, stop it. So now they did say the show tonight's been canceled. Oh, thanks. Thanks for canceling. Thank God you canceled the show. What the fuck?
No, I mean, could it have been like something that maybe happened and he told someone on his team, take care of it, and this was their way of taking it? But also, what a sloppy way. You're going to use a Tesla and then you're going to leave the bot. It's just, it feels like there are too many.
She's 15 is all I can say.
Yeah, I mean.
Very, very tragic. Does she have parents? Was she listed as a missing person? Was this the kind of situation that the parents thought it was going to be like R. Kelly? Was she an aspiring singer? Horrible.
We have no details about who she is? I mean, I guess she's a minor, so it's going to be concealed, but
yeah. Really insane. So that is happening right now.
And he's how old?
I would have to look up how old he is, but he is an adult.
Yeah.
He is not
over 18.
He's not, singing for the Disney Channel. This episode of Juicy Scoop is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. From vacation rentals to hotels across the U.S., Booking.com has the ideal stay for anyone, even those who might seem impossible to please. I have those people in my family, and we just planned a trip to Oregon, and I'm so excited about the new place we're going to stay that we found at Booking.com. Booking.yeah. If our family can find the perfect stay on Booking.com, anyone can. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Okay, so now fill us in because I just wait for you to come on and fill us in because it's just so confusing with the newly engaged Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I know they wanted to depose her. Explain everything where we're at. I'm just going to interject questions.
Yeah, so we are coming to the end of discovery, which is all the evidence exchanging. So Blake's putting all of her stuff on the table. He's putting all his stuff on the table. And now they're all kind of sorting through everything. And the next couple of months will be them putting together their case before trial in March. So it's presumed that at this point, Taylor's text messages have been turned over, which is why it seems they were trying to depose her. Now, the only date that Taylor's team offered was at the end of October, but discovery is supposed to be done and all depositions are supposed to be done by the end of September. So they were asking the judge for an extension, and the judge—
Who was asking?
Baldoni's team.
Okay.
Yeah, because they wanted to depose Taylor, and Taylor said, okay, I'm only available the week of October 20th. Other than that, like, I can't make anything happen sooner. So they were like, hey, judge, she's available, but not until after the deadline. Can we get an extension so that we can depose her? And the judge said no, because he's like, you had 6 months to try and depose her and work out a schedule. So it seems like the reason they were trying to depose her now is probably because they got the text messages. I mean, Perez Hilton, for what it's worth, take it with a grain of salt. He says that he has a close source that I believe may be Baldoni's publicity team, but he says that he has a close source that says that they do have the text messages and that there's something in those text messages that they believe to be very incriminating to Blake Lively. So there's something, and she was fighting
so
to not have.
Just to make things clear, because I think it's gotten so murky. And so who is suing who for what? Because I know that the $400 million lawsuit that Baldoni was countersuing Blake was dismissed. She asked for it to be dismissed, and it was. So where are we left on what lawsuit? Blake is suing for what?
So Blake is suing Baldoni for a couple $100 million herself.
Okay.
For harassment and retaliation. And so those are the two.
So it's harassment on set, or this is all post the movie?
Harassment on set.
Okay.
She claims he harassed her. She brought forth claims. He agreed to not retaliate against her. And then he launched this retaliation campaign against her to keep her silent, is what she's claiming.
Okay.
And so now she has to actually prove that there was harassment, that she brought forth the harassment, and then she has to prove that they launched this smear campaign in an attempt to retaliate against her for bringing forth those harassment claims. And so that's the only lawsuit that's active now, because a lot of people are like, wait, I thought it got dismissed. His case against her for defamation got dismissed because everything that all of the statements that she made that he claimed were defamatory were put in a legal document. And as long as it's in a legal document, you have litigation privilege, so you can't be sued for defamation because it's protected speech if it's in a legal filing. Because then people wouldn't sue people if they could get sued for defamation.
Right, like if you're going to say I was
Yeah.
sexually assaulted by this guy, then you'll never tell because they'll say by you saying that you defamed me. Got it.
Right. So his case is gone. So he's fighting her case against him. So that is set to go to trial in March.
And she's also asking that he pay for her legal fees in this lawsuit.
Her legal fees, and then in California specific with these types of harassment cases, so she's asking for her fees to be covered, punitive damages, which are, additional money that the judge would order to kind of punish you for, doing this action against somebody else in civil litigation. And then she's also asking for treble damages, which is unique to sexual harassment cases, specifically here in California. It's really big. And so treble damages are you're awarded 3 times the amount that you won. So let's say he loses $100 million, she can then fight to have him pay $300 million as like more punitive damages to punish someone for, bringing forth false allegations of like defamation or trying to harm somebody that's an accuser of sexual harassment.
Okay, you explained this very, very well. Okay, so now we're just going to talk prediction and speculation. What do you think could be in those Taylor text messages to her bestie? Supposedly she's a godmother, either officially or unofficially.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if you're, Christian or Catholic, or you really have a baptism where you have someone stand on the altar. That's what a real godparent is.
Right.
But in Hollywood, a lot of people say I'm the godmother, and it's not like a religious thing. Whatever. Supposed to be the godparent of one or some of them. What do you think would be in there, but that would be something that they got excited about and were like, now we really need to depose her to seal our deal here, Baldoni team?
Maybe text messages of her like praising him, like, "Oh my God, I had a really good scene today,"
Blake talking to Taylor,
or maybe her like hinting that maybe she has a crush on him. Like there's something that in the tone of her text messages that appears that she had a positive working experience with Baldoni. Because you also have to remember, and the thing is, when he launched his timeline of events and he put all the dates and the text messages together of hers to him, he's like, she's claiming she was harassed on this date, but then later that evening she was sending me these yummy text messages. So how is it that I harassed her that morning, and then, you know, later on by the end of the day she's telling me that, you know, she's a ball buster and she'll bust my balls but never with teeth? Like it doesn't add up if she was harassed by him earlier in that day and now she's, you know, inferring fellatio.
Yeah. But if I'm playing the devil's advocate, you know, there have been many cases, if you want to look at like Weinstein or whatever, where the person is, you know, the jury does decide that they were a victim, and there were those instances after the assault where the person's like, hey, you know, when do I see you again? Or you were the greatest or whatever. And then it's like a psychological thing. However, she's not saying he was assaulting her. She was just saying he was
harassing her.
Yeah.
He told her outfit looked sexy and he said that she smelled good. And those are kind of.
Oh, those are the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you see the context of it where like she's like, he said that I smelled good, and then they release the footage and it's her and they're in a dancing montage. And at first in her initial complaint, she said that there was no audio recorded, and then he was like, surprise, actually I was wearing a mic. Here's all of the footage and with the actual audio, and you hear her on mic say, oh, I'm sorry if my spray tan smells, which I'm sure you know spray tan smell. And when you hug people, you're like, sorry, like they smell gross.
Right, yeah, because you're not supposed to shower for like 24 hours, and it's that weird smell.
Yeah.
And so I saw that's a classic. And then he kind of, in my opinion, to put her at ease.
Yeah. He's like, no, it smells fine.
Yeah.
It smells good.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's just my body makeup. Ha ha ha. So it was just like a simple exchange, but like it wasn't like because she wrote in her complaint, he smelled me and told me I smelled good.
You're about to do like a close scene. So like, I saw that and I did think, ooh, you know, but it is interesting once something actually gets in front of a judge.
Yeah.
And not the people that have been, you know, watching people like you and everybody else really dissect it and kind of, you know, it's not being right now tried in the media. It's being tried in the actual court with someone who's just looking and following the law to the best of that judge's ability.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so once we get through the discovery, whatever, then it goes to a jury?
In March. So right now they have time to put their case together, do any last minute filings that they need to do. And then come March, it goes before a jury and both sides present their case, you know, and then the jury will ultimately make a decision in terms of whether or not they believe that Blake was harassed and retaliated against. Because like that's the thing. Harassment's one thing, but her biggest thing and what she really seems to hone in on is this retaliation campaign, which I mean, is kind of up in the air. But she has to be able to prove that that the smear campaign was in retaliation for the sexual harassment. So she has to connect those dots, and that's going to be really interesting to see if she can actually prove that. The
retaliation really being an online thing.
Yeah.
Through the press, using many different entities. And basically, she's saying, and you know, I was covering this from the very beginning when she said her first complaint, and I did think, being someone that's in this world, that I did notice all these weird TikToks and claims and things about that she was a bitch on set and did this and was rude to this makeup artist. All seemed to be popping up in my For You page on TikTok after the movie had premiered and been out, and I was just like, oh, like I was like, this is kind of weird. So when all came out, I was like, now you were also somewhat mentioned in this case.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I guess they were watching, Justin Baldoni and his team were watching everything that was playing out online, and they had their social media manager who would give them updates. And so one of them in their group text was sending my videos, and they're like, oh, love me some Zack Peter. So I think they liked that I was at the very beginning. Listen, I'll say exactly how I feel, whether I think it's going to be a popular opinion or not. And I was one of the only people that came out right after the New York Times article that said, I have questions. I feel like this is a smear campaign against him just by the way it was presented to us. In the New York Times, they removed their paywall, which the New York Times never removes their paywall. They made her complaint a downloadable PDF. No, covering celebrity legal cases, accessing those documents is not easy. So the fact that the New York Times blasted it all over their front page, removed their paywall, and had the entire document available to download as an easy PDF that says, click here to read Blake's complaint. I was like, that has so many red flags. We see text messages, but we don't see the full context of their conversations yet. I was like, we have to wait to see what his side is before we make a decision, where everybody was like, hashtag Blake Lives Matter. We believe her. Stand with Blake. Believe Blake. And I was like, I have questions.
Wait, there was a thing called Blake Lives Matter?
No, that was a joke that
Oh, that's pretty brilliant.
No, that's just a joke that I came up with because there's so many Blake loyalists on the internet.
Interesting. Okay.
Just like the Amber Heard diehards.
Yeah.
And listen, I get it. I get their mission. But this, like the Tyler Perry case right now, like that one, I'm a little more, believe the dude.
Let's just remind people of the Tyler Perry case. I did discuss it with you guys before. Tyler Perry, as you know, has a big studio, many shows under him. And there is a guy that was acting on one of his shows that's like a series regular who has come forward and said that he made advances, tried to come into his bed one night when he's spending the night. And so where do you stand? And he's suing and then saying that when he resisted the advances and whatnot, then all the things that were promised to him in the flirting that was going on, in which he kept brushing it off because I don't know if he's gay or straight, but he wasn't interested in Tyler Perry in that way. And that, the pilot that was supposed to be done, that he had written, this guy, he also wasn't asked to be on the next season of the show.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on that?
I think I believe Derek. I think the accuser. I think listen, are there people in Hollywood that will try to advance their career by flirting with the producer? Sure. But at this point, especially post Harvey Weinstein, as the producer and the head of the company, you know better than to be engaging in this behavior. Because I see people being like, well, why did Derek keep going to his house? Why would he get drunk with him? Why would he be hanging out in his underwear? And I'm like, I get that. But also Tyler Perry is the boss and he knew better than to be doing any of this with, the actor that he has power over.
And when I read those texts and I read them on the show, it was very much a person. And, we've seen it with women. I've been there too, where someone is being flirty and creepy who is in a powerful position for you. And you're so embarrassed that they're being flirty and creepy because you're like, could you look in the mirror? Like, I've no desire in fucking you and like, you're gross. But you're like, haha, okay. Like, just try. And in that exchange, you could feel like Derek was doing that, like,
to appease
whoa. Interesting that you dream like that. Anyway, wondered if you could read my pilot. Like it was just like every little thing was not being extended. It wasn't like, tell me more about what I was doing in your dream. It was like, oh wow, have you thought about taking some melatonin? Like it was just constant trying to placate and like shut it down, I felt.
And that's, I feel like, the argument that Blake Lively is trying to make is she's trying to make it seem like because Justin Baldoni was the director and the producer, he was the Tyler Perry. He had all the control. But I'm just like, you really expect me to believe that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds had zero control and Baldoni was
they're rewriting the scene.
Yeah, he was just, being so predatory. And you have Taylor Swift walking in accidentally on meetings and reviewing, helping with casting decisions. Like, it's just, to me, it's too much of a...
Where do you think the Isabella who played the young Blake Lively in It Ends With Us comes into all of this?
I mean, she's trying really hard to avoid getting subpoenaed. I think they've tried like 5 times to subpoena her, and she and her attorneys are kind of, ignoring it to the best of their ability. I think, and we've seen like her text messages and interview bites that she did prior to, all of this coming out publicly, where she did nothing but praise Baldoni and like praise him, saying I felt so safe on set and this was the best working experience I had on, my first major film. So I think she's kind of between a rock and a hard place where I think her work experience with Justin Baldoni was really good, but then she became friends with Blake Lively, which was so fucking weird because Isabella's a young girl in her 20s, Blake's pushing 40, and Blake's inviting her over for sleepovers, and they're baking cookies together. They had no scenes together because Isabella played young Lily and Blake played old Lily, so there's no time travel in this movie.
Yeah, it's not like you're playing mother or daughter and you're like, we should hang out off set so we have like a chemistry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and she only had a couple of scenes, so it made no sense that her and Blake would become so close, and Blake's like flying her around the country to do press, and again the sleepovers and taking her out to dinners and all of that stuff was just kind of strange. So I think she feels this loyalty to Blake because I think she believes that Blake told her these stories about Baldoni, but she also knows that if she is deposed or testifies, her experience with Baldoni is going to contradict what Blake is trying to paint him as.
What do you think about Jenny Slate? Does anyone want to depose her? She seems to have managed to stay kind of out of it. And Jenny Slate, to remind you, she plays Baldoni's sister in the movie, and then also the BFF to Blake Lively. So they do have a lot of scenes together.
Yes. I imagine Jenny Slate will also be deposed and dragged into this as well. I think she's a really key material witness based off of what she experienced on set. We do have one report or a complaint, and she's the only one that we've been able to find a complaint about that was made towards Sony, where she complained about the apartment that they put her up in during the film, and she was like, I don't want to live here. It doesn't feel safe for my kid because of the high ceilings or the high windows or balcony. There was something that she felt was unsafe for her kid. And so Wayfair's like, okay, well, we'll come in and we'll eat your $15,000 deposit and we'll put you up somewhere else. And then I guess she was bothered because in that mention, and what she complained about is they referred to the sanctity of motherhood. And she just felt that was creepy because they're not moms. They're men. And like, how dare they speak about the sanctity of motherhood when they're literally paying $15,000 to help her move into a new apartment.
I mean, that could have been, a misunderstanding or whatever, or like a guy trying to be too
nice,
on the side of of something that he's, it was interesting because she was in Dying for Sex, and that was nominated for a lot of things. And I had Nikki Boyer, who she plays here, and it's such a great show and everything. And there was definitely an absence of her doing a ton of press, Jenny Slate, because I think she wanted to avoid this, and which is understandable. Good thing it didn't hurt anyone wanting to see the show. But I think it's a hard position to be in.
Yeah.
And we don't really know how she feels. She could be totally Team Blake, or Team Justin, and just not really go, I don't want my career. This is bad. I could get it. Don't. Remember, Lisa Vanderpump didn't want to be called in the Brandy Glanville versus Joanna Koopa smelly pussy thing either. Don't get me involved.
Yeah, and so all these people are being dragged in. And I think it's also a weird position for them to be in because, at first, if Blake is making these claims, a lot of people believed Blake. And then you start to see, all of the evidence against her where she's just like, he showed me porn on set. And they're like, we showed her a birthing video and here's the video. And it's like, well, then that miscategorizes things. So I think the people that may have believed her up front may now be questioning whether or not they can believe her. And then it's a weird place to be in because you're like, well, who do I believe? What do I, what side do I pick? But I think that's why Taylor Swift's silence is probably the most telling to me, because if she is not standing by Blake, has never issued a statement in support of Blake, is like, I'll be deposed if I have to be deposed, it kind of feels like I would think that if that really was your good girlfriend for 10 years and you're the godmother to all her children and you guys have this close bond, you would think that there would be some sort of sticking by her. But I mean,
I think, she started that whole squad thing. I think she, has an interesting relationship with girlfriend friendships, being that she was treated horribly, Taylor Swift, in high school. And there's a story where she invited when she hit it, she invited all these girls that were bitches to her to see her show. and like put them in the front row or something, like, you know, I mean, it's like, so I feel like, yeah, when the friendship doesn't serve her anymore, or if she feels like you're using me,
Yeah, her dragon.
yeah, then she's not, but she's going to have to do whatever she has to do legally, but she's probably like, fucking bitch, like, God damn it, you know? Last question, then we're going to move on. And I have not thought of this. Who should play these two in the movie? And Blake Lively and Taylor.
Oh my God.
Blake Lively, Taylor, Justin. And I have not thought it out, so I don't mean to put you on the spot. Juicy Scoopers, please like comment.
Yeah, I need
because
ideas.
I need to, I don't know either. I don't know enough, I think, like young-ish actresses. I'll tell you what I think.
Well, Isabella Ferrer can play Blake.
Yeah.
We can start there.
But I think that this will be like a more of a Lifetime type movie instead of like a really good Netflix. I think it'll be a Lifetime type thing.
No, I have someone from a really big, like a really powerful person in Hollywood that I asked, why haven't we seen more of like these documentaries about the Blake and Baldoni stuff? The ones that we have seen have been like really small. One was like a foreign one in Australia or something. And they said that a lot of studios, like top head execs, are saying, no, we're not touching it. Right. They don't want to touch it because of Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
And
they don't want to piss off anyone. Yeah.
So, and
because of future projects.
And they have no plans to cover it the way they covered Depp v. Heard, where after Depp v. Heard, all these documentaries came out, all these like, you know, other projects came out that profiled that case that I don't think we'll get in this case, because in this case, there's more of an incentive to protect Blake and Ryan, whereas in the other case, there was no incentive to protect Amber Heard.
Okay, I'm going to say, I think the decision to make a made-for-TV movie won't happen until this is completely concluded. Based on how it's concluded, I can see the trailer for the Lifetime movie and it'll be like a couple years later, like let people sort of forget. And it's like the biggest scandal of our time. Snap, 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 snap. And then a girl being like, rye, you know, what are we going to do? Or something like, you know, something like that. And it'll be in like a cheesy way that there'll be actually a couple people at home watching that may not know the story. Like they'll wait like 5 years to do like the Hollywood scandal that rocked the mid 2020s or whatever we're in. Yeah.
I mean, and we'll get an SVU episode out of it.
Yeah.
You know, they always do ripped from the headlines. And then you'll have someone play a fake Blake.
Right. This episode of Juicy Scoop is brought to you by Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Well, you guys, it's fall, and I know a lot of us are just getting back into the groove, and maybe you want to have something to look forward to. Maybe you have a wedding, or you want to go visit your child in college, and you're trying to figure out where to stay that'll fit all the needs. Maybe you're bringing grandma with you. Maybe you have younger kids that need to have their space and you want to have a little kitchen nook where you're staying so you don't have to pay for the expensive breakfast, or you want a breakfast included. Well, where can I find all that, Heather? How can I make my needs met? It's at Booking.com, Booking.yeah. From vacation rentals to hotels across the U.S., Booking.com has the ideal stay for anyone, even those who might seem impossible to please. I have those people in my family, and we just planned a trip to Oregon, and I'm so excited about the new place we're going to stay that we found at Booking.com, Booking.yeah. If our family can find the perfect stay on Booking.com, anyone can. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Fall style is all about layering, and there's no better layer than high quality, comfortable shapewear. You know it. You know it looks great under everything. So why are you only wearing it on a special occasion or for a wedding? No, you want to look sleek and great, but you're like, but Heather, it's not comfortable. I don't like it. Well, it is when it's Honeylove, because Honeylove's best-selling Superpower Short is the go-to, and it has targeted compression technology that distinguishes between areas where you want more support and where you need less compression. You know what I'm talking about. We want that tummy sucked in. We want the sides of our waist snatched, and we want our ass to be popping and up and not smashed down and flat, okay? Well, this does it for me. This is why I love this power short. It comes up just under my boobs, under my booty, lifts, tucks, and is so comfortable. I can wear it with everything. Jeans, a cute little dress, a skirt, and feel so confident. I absolutely love it. Treat yourself to the most comfortable shapewear on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/juicy. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/juicy. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support Juicy Scoop and tell them I sent you. Experience the new standard in shapewear with Honeylove. Okay, so speaking of which, this is a lot of what's going on The Real Housewives of OC. It's a lot of people right now as the show is airing, all the different girls kind of pointing the finger at each other saying like, you are basically doing what Blake and Justin are accusing each other of. You are creating smear campaigns against Katie. People are saying, no, it's Katie using bots and people to smear us.
Yeah.
And, so there's like the two teams, which is now Tamara, Katie. Wait, one side is Gretchen, Jen, Emily, and Gina. That's one boat off the Titanic, okay? And you don't know which one you're going to jump on. Then there's Katie, Tamara, who like saw that coming and jumped on that.
Yeah.
Along with
is anybody else there?
Alexis Bellino.
Well, I feel like Alexis is kind of like in the middle because remember,
come on. Joe De La Rosa's trying to jump.
Joe will be there. Oh, God.
Joe's trying to jump on, and then Heather is like, I have a helicopter picking me up from the Titanic and I don't need to jump on either of your shitty boats. And that's it. And Shannon, I think Shannon was on the other side and now is kind of figuring out, do I need to jump on the Katie Tamara boat? Because she refollowed Katie and she doesn't know what to do.
Well, I don't think she ever unfollowed Katie. I think that was like people.
Oh, that was like a rumor?
Yeah, because remember like at one point people were like, Lala and Ariana unfollowed LVP. And then Lala and Ariana came out and they're like, we were never following her. Like,
yeah.
So I think people like saw Shannon was following Katie recently and just like ran with that story. But I don't think she ever unfollowed her.
Right. And so that's like what's happening. The actual episodes are not as juicy as what's happening right now with like what is going to happen to this show. And, it's really interesting as they talk about the quote unquote bloggers, which really can mean anybody that has an Instagram account with somewhat Bravo written in it. And you can see it's so obvious who the cast members have gotten to join their team.
Oh, 1,000%.
I mean, it's more obvious than what happened over in New Jersey, where it's like this particular, Instagram account is just being like, literally just posting and writing things that were sent, in my opinion, from Tamara.
Yeah.
And then the other one is, this is being sent from the other side.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, I don't know where, it's like unfortunate. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't think the show can move forward after this. Like, I think the
With
show
this
needs
cast,
to be,
or what?
I think the show needs to be put on pause for maybe a year, like when Vanderpump took their pause after Stassi and Jax and all of them were fired. I think it needs to take a beat because I don't know how the cast moves forward. None of them like Katie. I don't believe Tamara's genuinely friends with Katie. I mean, I think Tamara's just trying to do whatever. She's like, okay, well, the audience...
No, she's best friends with Joe. Come on.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, there we go. Let's reboot that. Let's bring Joe on. Joe and Alexis Bellino and Katie Janela and Tamara Judge. There's the cast next season. Like, it's so stupid. And the hard part is I actually do on a personal level like Tamara and I've enjoyed her at events and stuff, but like I just see her and Katie and all the little strings that they're pulling behind the scenes more so than I think the other, like I don't think the other women are strategically trying to do things or like preemptively plant seeds with bloggers. I think they're all kind of in panic mode and just like trying to figure out what to do.
Fix it,
because like Katie hired a crisis PR team that she's using right now to kind of push all of these narratives that like the lie detector company is fake and it's all a plot and it's this whole conspiracy that Gina and Emily and Gretchen and Jen and the producers and Bravo and everybody's plotting against Katie to make her just look like a liar for, I don't know, a great storyline when now that she's not on the show this week. I'm just like, I didn't even miss her.
I
Like, she's
just
not
saw
that
She
significant.
said they keep moving the goalpost. Okay, we joke that Housewives is football, our football, but it really isn't. So it's like you're just supposed to be yourself.
Yeah.
And actually have genuine relationships with the women. And it's hard because if it wasn't genuine and you were truly cast,
Yeah.
it is hard to get in there and really be friends. It's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job. And the women are fighting to keep the job.
Yeah.
To keep the job that also comes with other opportunities for money and fame and fun. A chance to maybe make enough money that you can leave your husband that you hate. I mean, like whatever it is, they don't want to give it up. And you can't blame them for that.
Yeah.
And then also everybody's on social media. So if you feel like your reputation is being destroyed,
Yeah.
you will do whatever it takes to rectify that or try to fix it or try to get people that you think might have some influence in swaying the audience to believe that I'm not a bad person, I'm not a liar, whatever. And that's like where we're at. And it's just, it started to get a little exhausting.
Yeah, I just think there are too many, and this is why, because people are like, well, why would you rather believe like Gretchen and Jen and everyone else over Tamara and Katie? And I'm just like, because I see the things that Cameron, like I already know the whole finale. I know all the details for the season because Tamara put it out there weeks ago. I got a call.
I got
a call when I was in New York a couple months ago, and and with people like freaking out because of the like. It's just, and then even I went on tour and Gretchen came to one of my shows because she's friends with Jacqueline Larita, who I've been friends with for many years. And Jacqueline was in my show and Gretchen just kind of came to support Jacqueline and support me. And then immediately, like not even 48 hours later, like Tamara was already like in people's DMs trying to be like, what did Gretchen say at the show? And like she was trying to like get dirt. And it was just like, I'm just like, can you stop? Like just I want these women, like same thing with like Lisa Rinna in the Aspen season with Kathy. I'm like, if these women can just like let it all play out organically and wait to see how the audience turns. And if you need to do a podcast tour after the season to clear your name, fine. But when you're in people's ear, like I can name 5-6 bloggers that Tamara has been in touch with that I know for a fact she has spoken about this season.
I think I could get to about 8.
Yeah. So
I think there might be more. I think that's,
That's a frugal, generous number that I was giving her. But like, that's my thing is it's like, so now I'm less inclined to believe her and Katie because I know, and Katie's out there having her husband Matt do like podcast interviews now. It's just like, like, we already know like Gretchen and Slate can be a little thirsty. But when you're trying to be like, oh, well, I'm the victim, everyone's against me, it's a conspiracy theory, but then you're playing all of these same games and planting all of these seeds to get ahead of the narrative. Like when one of Katie's friends texted me and sent me this like TikTok video about the lie detector company and how the lie detector company is fake. And I'm just like, we haven't even seen the lie detector episode. Like I knew what was coming up in the episode, but I was like, I haven't even seen this episode yet. Why are you guys circulating this information to already taint that the lie detector company is fake and fraudulent when the audience has not seen the episode yet to even know what the results of the lie detector are yet. So you're already trying to discredit the lie detector company.
And it's very easy to send a blog, like really like a blog or whatever, but also like a post or a TikTok or whatever to send it to other people so that maybe then I do my podcast and I go, yeah, this is a good point. And I can't blame them for doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Why would you just sit and just let yourself drown?
Yeah.
Like, you already gave up your anonymity. We already know everything about you. Now you're a famous person. You can't be unfamous. So you might as well try to save yourself. So I don't blame them for trying to save themselves.
What advice would you give? Because my thing is, don't plant those seeds preemptively because it'll always come back to bite you. It always takes one salty blogger to get pissed off and to post all the screenshots of everything you've ever shared. Like that's the riskier option for these housewives is to play that game.
Yeah.
Because it always comes back around and bites them in the butt. So what advice would you give these housewives to save their reputation, but also know there's a beating that's coming on the show?
I would turn off my phone. I would stop doing whatever it is. I would just like only post like dumb shit, and I would honestly hire someone to make sure that I don't look at it, just so my mental health is okay. Then, now if you get asked to be on Watch What Happens Live, yeah, of course you're not going to turn that down. But I would not do any more interviews. I would not do any more commenting, and I would just come into that reunion in a dress that looks good that you're sitting in. Okay. A leg that's well oiled and tanned.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
really have what I'm going to say
Yeah.
clear and concise
Yeah.
and not confusing.
Yeah.
So if you're coming to defend yourself, it's like really think about it and know that I just want to know if this gets played 12 years from now in Peacock, which it will, that what I'm saying here is the way I feel. And if someone's going to say, you're lying and it's not true, I'd be like, this is who I am. This is what I think. Whatever you want to show or manipulate or say that somebody put out about me, whatever, this is where I stand. And this was a show I thought would be fun to do. And if you want me back and we can have fun, fine. And if you don't, like, I still am this person. For all of them.
Yeah. And
For all of them, that's the only way you can be.
And I also think, as hard as it may be for the ego sometimes, it's better to be in good graces with the producers because you'll eventually, the tide will turn. You're not going to get 5 bad seasons where you're getting beaten up season after season after season. Like, just let it, and the dynamics shift and somebody else takes the heat the next season. Like, just ride the wave because the audience is fickle and they forget so quickly.
I mean, I don't believe that all these people are good people. Okay? So saying I'm a good person, whatever. Do whatever you can. If you're a snake, play the snaky game.
Yeah.
But like if you feel that you're being beaten on, whether that's Katie or Gretchen or both, and you know, and you really feel like this is my truth, you just have to sit in your truth and just go, I know that, you know, God or whoever you believe in, the universe is on my side.
Yeah.
And eventually it will prevail.
Yeah.
And I am not going to scream it, because where it gets is when they try to defend themselves, like in the minutia of it. And it's just like the audience doesn't have a lot of tolerance for it.
Yeah.
They don't care enough. So it has to be like, I mean, I always say like the reason OJ got off is because the DNA evidence was too new and too confusing and too exhausting.
Yeah.
And they lost interest.
Yeah.
And then someone said, if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense. Like that's too. Like, so they're like, the lie detector people were actors. Okay. Then that's what it is.
Yeah.
And Emily really hired them. No, she didn't. Like, are you kidding me? You think Emily really hired them and put up the black sheets in her room to do the lie? Like, you don't think, like, she's being quiet because she doesn't want to piss off the producers because she wants to come back.
Yeah.
They all want to come back.
Yeah.
Nobody, it's so rare that anybody, and even the people that quit, like Lisa Vanderpump, she can. She has 3 other shows.
Yeah.
She has 3 other restaurants. Give me someone who truly quit. I can only think of the doctor from Miami.
Oh, Dr. Nicole.
Whose husband is so fucking rich.
Yeah.
And she's a young mom. And she's a full-blown doctor.
Yeah.
And she's still kind of like popping in here or there. She's still like leaving the door open.
Yeah.
That she's like the only one that I think has really, truly like meant it when they said, I don't really need this right now.
Well, Bethany left twice.
Yeah.
And created the Bethany clause, and Bravo can thank her for every reason because, you know, she's the best ever.
She's the best ever. She's, you know, and she's...
and they paid her millions and millions and millions of dollars to come back.
Right. She created the whole thing. Anyway, okay, so now let's talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It premiered last night. And I'll fill you guys in. If you're not watching it, who cares? You know what we're talking about. They're in Salt Lake City. It starts out with Angie, who's the Greek one. She's like year 3. She told the girls get ready for a girls' trip and put a cute little thing on the invite that looked like they were going to a beach. But instead, she drives up in an RV, and Mary already gets in the car, and they pick up all the girls, and they go to a campsite. All right. You know, I read the reviews. A lot of people really loved it. So I'm going to start out with the positive.
Okay.
A lot of people are like, this is the best franchise. I'm so glad they're back. This was so funny. Me, as someone who is an actual funny person, I don't appreciate the bits.
Yeah, it's very try hard.
I don't appreciate like that they're basically following a script and doing an act. And it starts out, these guys come wearing, you know, from from the Halloween costume, the SWAT outfits. Where is, Whitney Rose? And then they're strippers. And then they strip in the weird RV. And it was just so dumb to bring back like when they were in the van and Jen Shaw got arrested.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Jen Shaw is sitting back going, once again, you used me for, a plot line as I'm rotting in here with one drop, Elizabeth Holmes. So then they go and they get to the campsite. And they go, okay, Brittany goes, okay, everybody, we're going to put down our phones, but I'm going to give you all these flip camera things from 2010, and you are going to run around and film shit. I'm like, okay, producers, now you're fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Why do they have to be camera people too? And why are we doing a Blair Witch Project from 25 years ago bit? And it looks like shit. It's not a pretty time of year wherever this campsite is. They're all trying to. I mean, Shannon Bedore is trying too hard too. Stop falling. You didn't need to bring those pots and pans. Stop with your bits, okay? I don't know who
do you think she's trying to do the bit, or do you think she's kind of just a little wacky
I think Heather
now?
Dubrow and Tamra and Shannon have like hired young people, and Emily, and Gina are doing bits, and I'm like, I don't know what person you hired from the improv class of the OC that's trying to help you with your bits. But like, we don't need you to be funny. Just like be yourself. Like, what is this? And, and then Heather acting like she doesn't know about all the shit that's going on with the lawsuits with Lisa Barlow.
I haven't seen any of this.
So that's what I think. I thought it was kind of exhausting. I didn't think it did not keep my interest.
Yeah.
But, you have to start somewhere. And then I didn't realize that, a big thing is that Angie has some stake in some tequila company, and that's why she was drinking it from the bottle, much like Bethany Frankel. Please say it's not about Tom. Shaking her skinny girl margarita mix. So she knows to bring it, carry it around the campsite. Don't blame me for doing it. That's what you should do, is show your product.
It's not, so I don't think it's her product, because I've actually worked with this brand many, many years ago. On my podcast, I was doing I would have a drink of the week, and I would have different alcohol sponsors, and they had sponsored, and that was when they had just started. And what's so unique about their tequila is they have a rosé tequila.
Okay.
Whereas most people have Blanco, Reposado, Añejo. This is their rosé tequila. So she must have gotten some sort of brand deal with them, I'm assuming, or maybe is an investor now, and is clearly just doing this to knock Vita Tequila, which is Lisa Barlow's tequila company. Are we interested in housewives hacking alcohol anymore?
I mean, is any hardcore housewife fan going, how dare she? I only drink Vita Tequila. I feel like a wine thing is such a weird. I don't think that anybody, except for the queen herself, Bethany Frankel, did people really kind of go, oh, I like a skinny girl margarita or whatever. I don't think anyone has ever been true to the champagne that Heather Dubrow was selling once, or the Wine by Wives of Vicky Taylor, or the Pinot Grigio,
Ramona's Pinot Grigio,
Sonia's Sissy Talk, or what was it called? It was called
Tipsy Girl.
Tipsy Girls. God, there've been so many, and then there was the peach Bellini.
Oh yeah, Teresa's.
There's there's just been,
Brandy had a wine.
I don't think by you bringing in another one, Angie, that you're going to take $1 from Vita Tequila. But
no, because there aren't many dollars going to Vita Tequila as it is.
Right. So then Brittany brings up, who brings up the Vita Tequila lawsuits?
Was it Brittany or was it Bronwyn?
Bronwyn does. Where she's like, well, she likes to talk about Todd, and I'm going to talk about her numerous lawsuits with her tequila company. I'm a germaphobe, but I'll let all my dogs shit around my coffee cups that Todd brings home from a vacation when I meet him in a dinosaur Halloween costume. I will. So that whole thing was dumb. And then, so that happens. Then I thought this was kind of good. When we got to Brittany saying something about her Whitney Rose's business.
Yeah.
And then Whitney Rose just lays it out there. And that was probably the best part of the night. She's like, yeah, I made a big fucking mistake. I spent all this money rebranding a number of times. We put all of our money in it, and I'm in debt. Like, I don't have $1. I don't have the products. And I had to like fire 30 employees and let people go. And now people are doing TikToks about it to like, try to get some fame from it. And it's a big disaster. And I don't have a pot to piss in. So there you go. Are you happy, Brittany?
Yeah.
With your bump it? Are you happy? And then she comes around. She's like, well, you should have just said that I sucked dick for. And they're like, what? So like that whole section was good.
I think Brittany is one that I enjoy. I enjoyed Mary, but now I feel like Mary's also getting a little shticky.
Oh,
she's
totally.
putting it on. She knows what she's doing. Whereas Brittany, I think, is really just, there's a lot of naivete there. She's very,
I think she's entertaining as
she's
hell.
very entertaining. And I think she reminds me of like a matured Sheena Shea, right?
Yes.
Always in love with the wrong guys and like does all these crazy things for love and like, and I think she genuinely tries to like, get these other women to like her, but because she tries so hard, like it just comes across as comical. Whereas Mary's kind of, I've lost, as much interest in Mary or like Kathy Hilton. Like I just feel like they play it up for the cameras now more than, it was genuine maybe at the beginning. But no, I agree. Whitney's vulnerability and just being like, yeah, here, you want to know, I failed at the business. And that's what a lot of these aren't business women. They think that if I launch a product and I'm on a show, it's just going to sell, but it's like, you have to be at all the expos and you have to be doing signings with Whitney to come and buy my jewelry and pop-up shops.
Why are you suddenly going to switch from your skincare line to like a 5-step skincare line of someone that, is just a housewife. That's like, why, maybe if you were someone like, Kim or whatever, Kim Kardashian that had the eczema. Yeah, like someone that has a real skin issue that you're like, we cured it.
Yeah.
And once we cured it, I worked with that dermatologist and we created this for people that have this specific thing. But like all these, like whatever they call white label, you just put your name on it.
Yeah.
It's just not the wisest way to go. And most of the time, these women don't lose money at it.
Yeah.
It just goes away.
Because they don't have to put money into it.
Yeah. And then, but so this was actually kind of sad.
She didn't need to hire 30 people, though. Like, that was her first mistake.
So I asked AI, I was like, what happened? Okay. So they said, this is what happened. Whitney Rose's MLM business failed due to a cycle of expensive rebrands, poor sales, financial mismanagement, and controversial business practices, followed by financial turmoil. Then it says the cycle of failed rebrands. Iris and Beau, Whitney Rose's first skincare company, was rebranded into Wild Rose Beauty. The transition was costly, and a scene from Real House of Salt Lake City showed her spending a disproportionate amount of money to launch a photo shoot and neglected to feature the actual products. This is always a housewife mistake.
Yep.
It's because when the product is ready, they won't be filming.
Yeah.
So they're like, how do we do some type of product launch or something? But it isn't good, and then everyone rips on you. Wild Rose Beauty in 2004, it was that it had secretly folded. Then Soul People, following the Wild Rose Beauty failure, that company existing inventory was funneled into a new social selling company called Soul People, which listed Rose as the CEO, co-CEO, and the rebrand was a disaster with allegations of deceptive MLM practices. That's where the people came out that worked for her that was like, we bought all this product, and then there was another thing that happened. Then they said they had this launch event where the Soul People canceled a 3-day launch event. That's another thing that housewives do, is they think they're Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And they're like, why don't you spend 3? Remember when Teddy Mellencamp had her event,
her retreat,
her wellness things? And I just think women are so like looking for an answer, like a 3-day answer of just like, fix my life.
Yeah.
And why you would think a housewife could ever fix your life. I mean, come on. Okay, so then they go to the 3-day, that launch thing gets canceled. And then by canceling it, they only gave them $100 credit to the product. Now, of course, we know when people cancel stuff, whether it's Adele or whoever, you've, gotten off work, you've got paid for a hotel, you've gotten a flight that maybe you got one of those flights that you don't get the money back for, all of that. So that's why people were doing the TikToks and were mad. And then the husband, the concerns were also raised about the history of Rose's husband, Justin, who was also involved in a previous MLM company and ended due to lawsuits. So, we'll see what's going on. So there we go with that. But I want to say, why isn't they now? Maybe she had red hair for a month before this camping scene, but she has red hair. Like, why don't you address the red hair?
Yeah,
why wouldn't a friend just go like? If I was a producer, I'd be like, someone just ask like, how's Whitney enjoying redhead life?
Yeah,
like. That's a pretty big move when a blonde goes to a redhead. And I don't think it's ever a good idea. Sorry.
Listen, there were photos that I would see her and I was like, oh, maybe she can pull this off. And then when I saw it on camera, because you see it in its full context without lighting and filters and stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't like the red hair. And then her story is that she dyed her hair red because her daughter's a redhead and she wanted her to let her daughter know that like it's okay, like don't let people bully you for having red hair. Like that's the story.
I think that was another like rebrand attempt because she's Whitney Rose. She should have rose colored hair.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then maybe she gets into the rose tequila.
That's really dark red hair. Like rose, like a subtle pink in the.
I don't know. It's just
would have been a little better in the blonde.
If you lived your whole life as a blonde, stay blonde.
Yeah.
My sister's been blonde her whole life, and she got someone to talk her into going like auburn.
Well, Whitney
she was that maybe for 4 months, and I was like, when the person shows up, you have to act like you love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, it's great. My dad was like, I don't like it. My dad was like, be honest. And then, just some people,
Whitney Leavitt from Mom Talk, from Mormon Wife, she, I think, pulled off her red hair well.
Yeah, maybe.
She looks great. She's on Dancing with the Stars now.
It's just if you've been blonde your whole life, it's okay if you bounce back and forth, but like, whatever. No. So we'll see what happens with it just was honestly, and then when they were showing like what's coming up, it's all horrible fighting and screaming.
Yeah.
In costume.
I just feel like
and I'm just like,
the show's become very produced based off of what I think they know has worked in the past on Salt Lake City. So like the women are super savvy to it. Even like the narrating that Heather does at the beginning of every season of like, what are we going to do? All of us, this person's having a fight with this person's having a fight, and we're all 5 going to be on a trip together. It's just like, it's all like, it's kind of the same playbook that they've done for the last 3 seasons, which like really worked in the Bermuda season. And last season had some good moments, but I just feel like we're falling into this trap of overproducing and all the women are becoming too self-produced.
And I love that they always call it the friend group instead of like the cast.
Yeah.
And they never say the reunion. They say what happened in New York.
In New York. It's always what happened in New York. When we were in New York.
Yeah.
It's like, at this point, we know it's the reunion.
Yeah. Remember like 2 years ago when you couldn't talk about GLP-1s and it was this big taboo thing and people, if they found out you were taking it, they would shame you. Well, now that isn't the case. And maybe you're interested in exploring it for yourself. But your next question is, well, will my insurance pay? How do I know? That is where RHOC comes in. Starting GLPs can feel overwhelming, but RHOC helps you figure out if they're right for you, and they make it really easy to get started because with RHOC, whether you're using insurance or paying cash, you can access FDA-approved GLP-1s at a competitive price. Plus, with insurance, GLP-1s could cost you as little as $50 a month. Half of covered patients have a 50% copay or less for medication, plus $145 monthly RHOC membership fee. Deductible costs may apply, and final cost varies by insurance. My favorite thing about RHOC is you get the answers quickly, you have the support throughout it, and it works. Go to rho.co/juicyscoop to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/juicyscoop. Go to rho.co/safety for black box warning and full safety information about GLP-1s medication. RX required. Still juggling multiple tools to keep your business running, from booking to payments to marketing? Well, Boulevard brings it all together in one easy-to-use platform built just for self-care professionals to keep your clients coming back and spending more. Boulevard is the fastest growing client experience platform built specifically for appointment-based self-care businesses because salon spas, barbershops, med spas, and other self-care businesses are so personal. The platform powering your business should feel the same. Plus, With AI-powered scheduling and marketing tools, you'll see higher bookings and gratuity, more ROI on your marketing spend, and smoother days for you and your team. And thanks to the always-on AI chatbot and expert support team, they respond in minutes, not days. Visit joinblvd.com to learn more about Boulevard and book a demo to see if it's right for your business. And for a limited time, Boulevard is offering new customers 20% off your first year subscription. That's Join Boulevard, JOINBLVD.com to learn more. JoinBoulevard.com. So this, I think, is a horrible title for a movie. The Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. Who the fuck thought of the title of that? Maybe it's based on a book. I don't know. I don't care. That's a horrible title for a movie.
It is a horrible, like, it's like
a
a slogan.
Outfit that, what's
is
her
that
name?
Margot Robbie?
Yeah, wearing. Like the Big Bold, like who? You know what's a good title for a movie? Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like when you, I'm not a brand manager, but like Jesus Christ, like this is not a good. It's awful.
What is the movie even about?
They open a door in the forest and then go back into, which honestly, I would love to go back in time myself. Like if there was ever some weird AI version that I could just suddenly like have it be like 1988 and like remember everything. I think that'd be so fun and great. It's not going to happen. So I don't need to see it as a movie. Okay. Cardi B. Cardi B is pregnant with her fourth child, her first with Stephon Diggs. I don't even, what does he do? Do we know?
Is he
a rapper too?
Probably aspiring.
Anyway, you know, she has 3 kids with Offset. And I will say, you know what? She's living an authentic life to her music.
Did you watch her trial?
Yes, I loved it.
It was great.
I didn't watch the whole trial. I loved the bits. But she is still that B. She is that girl. She likes her men. You know, she had 3 babies with Offset. She felt like Offset wasn't treating her right. She moved the fuck along. She got pregnant with another great guy. And she'll have all the kids and do her thing. And yeah, she's living what she sings.
And she really is pregnant, because that was the thing after the trial. Remember, she did a press conference and they were like, "So Cardi, are you pregnant?" And she got mad and she like threw a pen at them. And I was like, that's probably not the best look, because you just got off on your last case where you were accused of beating the security guard. She was funny in that trial though. Like she really is she's one person that like fame really hasn't changed. Like she's not trying to curate herself. She's not trying to like.
And I mean, she was just on a reality show, right?
Yeah.
And that reality show, was she an aspiring rapper at that time? And someone that just really like took that, had actual talent, and went for it, you know? And good for her.
Good for her.
Bravo just announced Summer House spinoff. It's called In the City. So people have been asking for this for years. Once the Summer House people end their Summer House tenure, why don't we see them living their life in the city? And so I think it's a good idea. But Paige, I guess, won't be part of that, or will she?
No, it's Lindsay, Kyle and Amanda, and then Andrea. They're bringing him back into the mix. He was the hot Italian guy.
So no Carl.
No Carl.
Did you see that? It looked like the place is done. The soft bar.
Already? Well, this is like his 4th bar.
That he's tried to do the no alcohol?
Well, not no alcohol. The other ones had alcohol, and now it's no alcohol. I don't like the idea of a no alcohol bar. I just think it's boring. Go to a coffee shop.
I actually was shitting on it, and now I think it's possible it could do something. It just has to be a good restaurant.
Yeah, that's all it needs to be.
I mean, as long as you have really good food.
Yep.
And you have tons of like meet and greet activities for young people. It has to be a place that you go to meet other people that are sober or want to be sober. And that's the way I would make it. I'd have something every night, like the trivia, the this, the that, even different games.
Yeah.
And I'd have like healthy, inexpensive food and just get people in there and out. Like you like turn the tables over. Like that's the only way you're going to make money.
Yeah, but you need like a lot of financing to keep it alive, because it's going to struggle for a minute. And I don't think he has the experience. because he hasn't had a successful bar. I know he's tried in the past, but I don't think he can. I mean, getting a bar or a restaurant off in Los Angeles or New York, like that's a really hard thing to do.
So hard.
You know, and it's so expensive.
Just
like
ask the two Toms.
Yeah. I'm surprised something about her. I mean, I think they're trying to stretch that as long as they can, but I don't know how many bologna sandwiches Katie can keep making. I don't know how that place is still open. Well, it's only been a year. I'm sure they have like a 2-year lease, so they'll probably try to ride it out as long as they can. But it's really hard to build something. Like Lisa Vanderpump at least had a lot of money and she'd been experienced in building up restaurants and whatnot.
But even she is smart enough to know that her ventures are now going to be in a state that, you know, is an easier state to do business in, being Nevada.
Yeah.
And there are cocktail bars where they have like 4 items of food. They don't need a big hot oven.
Yeah.
They don't need, you know, people have their one $25 drink, take their photos, tag it, and leave. Exactly what you want.
And she went to Vegas where they're big on novelty. Like when you go to Vegas, you go to all the
go to the M&M store and you get a Vanderpump cocktail.
And you get your photo and there's always foot traffic in Vegas for that type of stuff.
It's genius.
So it's smart. Carl trying to launch his own bar in New York is not really the vibe.
I mean, I think I just don't like to be like a negative Nelly. Who knows? He bugs. I've been waiting. I still think.
Are you going to buy his book, Eat My Cake? Or
suck my dick?
Isn't that his book? He has like a book come out and he has like cake all over his face on the cover and it's like Eat My Cake or Let's Eat Cake or something. And people are like, is this his coming out book?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. I think just like Sheena held the secret of Brock cheating,
the affair.
I think whoever his publisher is like, if you can not come out until the book comes out, and we will send the book out with a missing chapter.
Yeah.
And people will order it. And then that week that it launches, people will say, oh my God, this is coming out. And then that chapter was so beautiful and da-da-da-da.
He's going to get the GLAAD Awards.
And then, and then there you go.
Gay of the Year. Yeah. Like Colton Underwood when he came out. Remember when he came out gay?
Yeah. He's a dad now.
Yeah, he's a husband and a dad.
And hosts that show about the virgins with, there's a dating show him and Caitlin Bristow have.
Oh.
But I think it's all heterosexual virgins. I don't even know. It's a dating for like a young virgin show.
Okay.
And I should have hosted that show. I was an old virgin who dated all the time and dry humped my way through Hollywood. But I think, wouldn't it be interesting if like he wasn't, but he just like had to sell the book?
Well, people are like, did Brock really cheat on Sheena? Yeah. I mean,
yes.
Do you think she's on the Valley this season? Because I haven't seen her film anything. I've seen Lala around at events and with Janet, but I haven't seen Sheena around anything.
So I saw Lala, rebranded to
untraditionally Lala.
Untraditionally Lala. Her brother, who's been the co-host for like a couple years, apparently is not going to be part of it, at least not on air. Maybe he's just producing. I don't know. And I mean, in her case, I think people are like, this isn't a good idea. I'm like, I think sometimes you got to switch it up. And I think like maybe, being like the mom of the two and wanting to kind of get away with that. Now she seems to be at all the events. She's definitely filming it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Sheena is not. And I thought Sheena was like definitely going to be on the Valley, but maybe they'll bring her and there'll be some big moment or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. What's Jax doing? Is he still giving advice to women?
No, I think all his projects ended. His tour ended. I think his podcast might be on pause. I don't know what his bar's gone. I don't know what he's doing. What's
your prediction for him?
I could see him getting like a lucrative OnlyFans deal and just leaning into that.
Oh my God.
Because he's going to get desperate at some point. And OnlyFans, and what's the other one? There's another company that made like Tom Sandoval a really big deal. I know OnlyFans offered Erica to join when she was like at the midst of her scandal.
And did she know?
No, she didn't.
Oh.
She didn't do
And
it.
what
They
was
made her a
the
big
Tom
offer.
Sandoval deal?
They were Cam Soda, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
They're the like another like adult film.
Competing with the OnlyFans?
Yeah, and I remember they made him like a really big deal or offer to like, if you come on our site, this is, you know,
Like
we'll
a
pay you like $1 million. Yeah.
Okay.
And he didn't. That was during Scandival, but he didn't take that offer.
Oh
So,
my God.
Listen,
you think
but
he
Jax,
regrets
you
it?
think? Well, no, he has a band on America's Got Talent. He's killing it. What are you talking about?
I think reality stars more than anybody else has to make that money when they can make it.
Yeah.
Because it is fleeting. And it's like, if it's not something that's, really against your morals or whatever, I say, do it all. Do it. Whatever it is. Go on the band on tour. Go on the stand-up comedy tour when you aren't funny. Do whatever. Make all the money you can make because eventually it will dry up and people will stop going.
Yeah, I think Jax would actually do well on OnlyFans. Like, even though people hate him, I think people would the gays would all subscribe to him. And listen, Denise Richards makes a lot of money on OnlyFans, and she gives everything. You see both sets of lips. Like, she gives a lot on OnlyFans. I ranked all of the different OnlyFans from the different housewives and reality stars, and hers was the best bang for your buck.
In your opinion, you did a whole thing. Give me some others that are doing it, that are doing it right.
Brandy's wasn't great.
Brandi Glanville?
She didn't really give anything.
Okay. I feel like she wouldn't be consistent in the posting.
Yeah. Oh, Chad Johnson from The Bachelor, Bad Chad. His is really good. He does everything. Like, he even does like anal now.
Oh, he's gay too?
No, he's straight, but he doesn't do anal with other men. I think like with toys and stuff.
To himself?
Yeah. And then he like does stuff with other women. I'm telling you, Chad and Denise Richards are the two.
What season was Chad on?
Oh, I don't remember. What was Chad Johnson. He also did like Famously Single. Like, he did a lot of those other reality shows. He's the one that got upset with Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
And he was fighting with Chris, and he's like, look at you guys, ruined my reputation so bad. Now I'm on OnlyFans. Chris, you should come on OnlyFans too. Like, he was just like a disaster on The Bachelor. Which I'm excited for.
Are there
Taylor
any other housewives? Like, is Dorinda still on OnlyFans?
She did it for a hot second, and it was like cooking videos. And
like,
people were like so
Halloween
mad
decorations.
at her. Yeah. People were so mad that she did that. Sonia did that for a hot second. Brandy has hers. Larsa has hers.
Larsa
didn't
sexy,
really
right?
show any. Like, it's lingerie, and here my feed, and like, but she doesn't show.
And then you have to like pay more for her to have a robot talk to her. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's funny.
To have like a boy from the Philippines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that she's like unapologetic about it. Okay. They're going to do a wife swap show with 4 housewives. It's Melissa, Emily, Dr. Wendy from Atlanta. Who's the 4th?
Angie K.
And Angie K from Salt Lake City. And I thought when I saw the trailer, I thought they were going to switch with each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And no, they each switch with a real wife. So again, it's going to be talk about shtick. Because I know people that did the original, and it's super fake.
Yeah.
And instead of it being a week, it's like 2 days,
48 hours,
and you sleep at a hotel, and you don't sleep really at the house, and they plan out all the stuff and whatever. And so maybe it won't be as fake, but obviously it's going to be, okay, get in your highest heels to milk the cow, and fall over.
Well, I think it'll be more fake because it's only 48 hours. So they only have a 48-hour window.
Oh, it is only a 48-hour thing.
Yeah, these housewives are only are there, I think, for like 2 days.
Okay.
So, but then they have to cram everything into those 2 days.
And still have like the sad moment.
Yeah.
See, the thing that people don't realize what was good about Housewives is that, Wife Swap, is there was this thing where in the end they would like kind of give their advice. So if they were like a super liberal mom with like a conservative, they would be like kind of learn from each other.
Yeah.
There'd be like a little bit of a moment like that. But a lot of those people that were on that show are real fucked up today.
Yeah.
Like they found fucked up people, and then being on that episode that was millions watched it. This is 15 years ago when there wasn't a ton of TV. So like everybody watched it.
Yeah.
And then they did Celebrity Wife Swap.
Oh, I remember that with like Flava Flav.
And Corey Feldman was like totally furious of how he was portrayed. Then the stars, there was Jermaine Jackson.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. But no, I think it's a good idea. Of course, I would do it if I was asked. If I
don't love the women that they chose, though. Like, I would have liked to have seen like star power, you know. And I just
who's
feel
the
like
star power? Actually, Shannon Bedore would have been a good choice.
Shannon Bedore would have been good. Teresa Giudice would have been good.
Yeah.
Like the bigger, like when they did Ultimate Girls Trip season 1, that was like the big ones. They had Kenya, they had Kyle, they had Teresa, they had Melissa.
Do you think they didn't ask Teresa, or do you think somehow Bravo were like, these are the ones you could have? I think Bravo might have been like, these you could have these ones and not
probably
these.
Probably to build these ones up.
Yeah.
Which then makes me think.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah. Which then makes me think, well, because they were kind of like the side character. Like now Dr. Wendy kind of needs to be in the forefront because they lost so much of the original. They lost Candace and Monique.
Good
and
point.
Karen. Emily, I'm sure they're planning on keeping around. Melissa, I would imagine, is going to be part of the reboot. Like, there's a reason they picked these 4. Angie K, I'm sure, is going to be prominent on Salt Lake City this season, and they're building the show around her now, making her the center snowflake. So I think they intentionally were using this to build up these 4.
Genius. Okay. Another genius thing. Kris Jenner freaks out over leaked Mac campaign photos. She's absolutely going to take you all out. And I don't know which one she's mad about, the black and white or the other one, but
I think the black and white. I think that's like a leaked, untouched version that came out.
Okay,
that she didn't approve.
think this is all a fake thing. This is all a fake thing to get people to talk about it, and she's in on it, and it's a genius
even that photo
plan.
Looks photoshopped.
Yeah,
it looks like it's been retouched.
Why would you be mad? It's still really good. Like, shut up. Yeah, so I think that was all fake. The New Jersey, we were just talking about New Jersey reboot. We don't know what's going on with that. What about the RHONY reboot? That they're going to save like Aaron and Jen Lyons.
It's Aaron, Sai,
Jenna Lyons.
and Jessel. And Jenna Lyons is a maybe. I don't think she's confirmed yet. But I know Aaron, Sai, and Jessel are the 3. Those were the only 3 that I thought had the strongest presence on the show.
And they actually like get along and have like a friendship.
Think Aaron's the strongest on the cast.
Yeah.
I think she has the most like housewife potential.
Yeah.
She just didn't have anybody else to really work off of. You know, she didn't have any good foil to really bring out, you know, the best parts of her. Sai, I always thought was really strong. She was really polarizing, and the audience kind of hated her. Everyone really loved Jessel, who I just kind of thought was a bit overrated. But I
talk about that guy trying to be funny all the time, the husband.
Oh yeah. So
whatever.
I mean,
I can't. I don't care who comes on.
I feel like the
I
show
don't know how much more I can take.
I don't think I can do a 3rd season, like, because it's not even like at least when you used to do and just like that, like it was so bad that it was enjoyable to make fun of.
Well,
but like
you still loved the people,
yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't feel like anyone ever hooked in.
No.
Like if there is a reboot truly of the oldies, like Dorinda and all that. We will watch it.
Yeah.
Even if it's boring, even if it's not that good, like we will just watch it because they are them. Like they just say we want, like they were great because they would say things that were coming from a point of view of a privileged person living in a bubble that thought they were being nice. And like, I mean, just think of all the golden moments of like when Countess Luann went to talk to like these underprivileged girls about being a model. And she was like, oh, you're tall now. If you watch your diet, maybe you could also be a model one day. It could happen. I know it's not likely, but it could happen. You're like, what?
Losing weight is the easy part. I was like, what?
Like all of it's so great. And people don't. And that's the thing. You can say inappropriate, offensive things. And you can still sell out a theater singing, your karaoke song. You know, like you can do it because you stuck to who you are. You didn't veer off.
Yeah.
You didn't act like that wasn't you.
Yeah.
You didn't say, you're like, yeah, I did. Whatever. Am I proud of it? No, it's not my greatest moment, but I was living in the moment doing a reality TV and I was a fucking countess who was rich in New York. So yeah, this is how I saw the world.
I think it's because they used to find these women that were just so out of touch with reality. And that's what was so interesting about OC in New York in the beginning is like these women had no concept of real life. Whereas I feel like the newer women that get cast on these shows are trying so hard to become a caricature. They're trying so hard to give us moments and to give us bits and to deliver lines. Whereas like the real good, like the Luann is just as delusional now as she was when she first joined the show, and you put her back on TV and it's still going to give us everything.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ramona. Like Ramona's still so kooky and wacky and, you know, is like they're great television.
Well, we're going to end it on just reminding everybody that I will be November 14th, 10 p.m. at the MGM Grand. That is BravoCon weekend. I will be there that Friday night, 10 p.m., that show. We are down to the last little bit of tickets. So get your tickets now. And I've heard from people that are like, I'm going to go, but we're not going to BravoCon, but we want to see Bravo celebrities and where should we stay and all that type of stuff. And that is going to be really fun. So, you know, if you didn't get the tickets or you don't want, or you're just going to go do one day, of course, if you could afford to do all 3 days, it's great. I think personally, I've said, as a doing a lot, it's a lot, even for a fan. And so I think the ideal thing is come to my thing Friday, maybe do the day Saturday, then fucking recap at the spa and brunch on Sunday and laugh your ass off. And like, you won't feel like super overwhelmed, but do whatever you can do, but just go to this show.
Yeah, I think that'll be my plan.
Okay.
I'll be there that weekend I'm seeing Donnie and they're doing their New Kids residency. So I'm going to be in Vegas that weekend.
Oh, that's another thing. You could do that one night too.
I think I'm going
Thursday. And really kind of get a whole Vegas weekend, not just a BravoCon. It's whatever you want. I think
that's more fun. Because like, here's the thing, even the last BravoCon, I didn't go to BravoCon, but I did all the parties out. Weight Watchers paid me at the last minute to come in and to fly into Vegas and do a stand-up activation with them. And I did. And I was like, I don't even need to go to BravoCon because there's so many parties and side events and after parties and all these things that you still get to do all that really fun stuff. But I agree, pick one day to do BravoCon and
just
then
to
enjoy
do it and
all the other.
See all like the, you know, the outfits and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think that's super fun. But you know, but if you're not right near the thing, it is a challenge to get there sometimes. So you might want to then pick a hotel. You could do this one where then you go to have a cute dinner, go to my show that night. Next day, do the BravoCon, go to the Sphere to see, you know, or whatever. Or also, I think some of those events, like the live Watch What Happens Live, they're separate tickets, right? Yeah. So you could just do that.
Yeah.
There's a lot you could do, but it will be fun. But you got to start planning it now, girls, because I know you've got kids and sitters and, you know, ex-husbands and husbands to deal with and girlfriends and wives and everything else. So figure it out. Go to heathermcdonald.net. And of course, if you're not following Zack, you need to, because he really delivers it so well, all the juice, and explains it well. He doesn't fuck up facts like I sometimes do. So tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, No Filter with Zack Peter streams Monday through Friday on all podcast platforms. You can watch on YouTube and Spotify or listen on Apple.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks.
Bye.